Hello and welcome to Evil Ginger Miniatures, where we're in a situation where it's hurry up and wait, as my Dutch friends say. I've got stuff coming to do projects on its way. I don't know when it's going to arrive, but I put in a big army painter order, which will allow me to get on with the Ultima project and with the Black Band, because I need to paint the male with this particular silver speed paint. Because that's what I've done all the rest of them with, and also a few spray cans and other things like that from them, and some more black because I'm running out of that, and it seems to be a bit rare in the country. I've got loads more milliput, which I got from Element Games, who are reliable, but occasionally can be a bit slow because they still tell you they've got stock when they haven't, and you have to wait for a restock, and they've got a bit of a habit of hanging on to orders until they've got everything. But it's still more reliable than the company that uses my herpes, and I'm still sore about that, and they still haven't refunded me the money that put it in a hedge somewhere. I'm not crawling around in the brambles or by the broken down toilet block, which is where it looks like it was, because I don't have a hard hat, and while my head is fairly hard, a roof slate is going to smart, and I don't have a hard hat anymore. Unfortunately, I don't have anything other than a secret, which I keep under my hat. Which you do. But I've got loads of this. I've now got 2 packs I got individually off the Evil Rainforest entity for speed, and I'm using those at the moment, and I've got 5 more packs. As I say, I've got a lot of building that's going to need that coming along, and I used to buy outers of 20 at one point, but unfortunately the company I used to buy those from has disappeared, and even 4G Model Shop seems to have closed. They still got a website, but I'm going to have to get some bits and pieces, and I've ordered some bits and pieces from them for another project that's coming up. But accompanying post with this will be some things I finished today, the day of recording, which will be the day before it gets published, and also some more updates. I still haven't found the Hackmaster book. It's in this office somewhere, which means I'm going to have a massive tidy up, because that's what I always end up doing to get I mean, it might be obvious or be staring me in the face, but it seems to be a ritual need to crawl around on the floor and pick stuff up and tidy up and try and put stuff in some sort of order. One thing I will talk about, because it's going to be a bit of a bitty. Where did I put the dratted thing? Just saw it. Oh, here it is. Right. I did an experiment the other week, because sometimes I use enormous quantities of certain colours, and sometimes they're colours I can't get anymore. So particularly a shortage of the flat earth that MP used to do, which I used to buy in 500ml bottles. I've got a couple of empties down in the workshop still, because I'm going to use them for storing paint in and stuff. But I got a load of paints mixed for the beta site when I was still doing the beta site up. It's now for sale and closed. But I got some paints mixed, and having watched quite a lot of Colonel O'Truth's miniature issues, I was tempted to use tester pots of paint. Now, but not in the way he used them, because he bought off-the-shelf testers and just used them on his scenery. I wanted specific colours, so I took colours which I had or had and went up there and asked them to mix an equivalent. It is not exactly the same as the original colour, but given that I put washes over it and I dry brush over it, and there's, it's close enough. So this is now my mud brown, which is very similar to the old MP Flat Earth. I will be getting a big one of these because I've got a load of World War One scenery coming up. I've got a huge minefield to do downstairs after I finish the Western Desert one, which I've almost got done. I'm just still trying to work out how to put the wire out on, attach the wire permanently, because it's got barbed wire entanglements on it as well. It's the mines. But basically, I've got one of these in desert yellow, and I've got one of these in muddy brown, and I'm probably going to buy a big one of muddy brown to do the base colour for my Frostgrave scenery, the base colour, and there's 3 greys that I want, including MP mid grey, which I want for my Frostgrave walls, the stoneworks that I got from Fenris, which I'm still constructing. I also need to put in an order to Fenris, which I will be doing as soon as I've got rid of paying for the camera, which should be next month, I hope. So got a couple of orders to sort out and chase. There's one that didn't appear to have ever arrived from the sprue shop, and there's one that I was expecting some feedback on. So I'm fiddling with my collar. It's annoying me and it's not even. Yeah, I need some more work shirts as well. But basically, I've got a Reaper order to sort out, which I needed to pay shipping on, but I think I'm going to cancel it, get a refund, and just stick the rest of it and basically build a bigger Reaper order and get it from Europe, where we were intended to get it from in the first place. So I'll be restocking Reaper, and there'll be a load of stuff from Reaper appearing, and that means I can get the Etsy shop finally going. But this works fine. It's probably craft paint sort of level, but that's really all you need for bases. I've been using it on bases and trying not to get it washed out, but basically it works fine, and it dilutes. It works as a wash afterward for the top layer after you put the sand on, and it's spot on. And of course, when I want a litre of it, or a couple of litres of it for doing a huge board, it'll be there. As I say, World War One is coming as well. I've got loads of World War One Brits to do. I've got loads of World War One Germans to do, and there are some semi-fantasy stuff that I might be getting involved in. It could be Trench Crusade related, but you'll never know. It's one of those things I haven't decided. Also, Warbases have brought out a new range of Traitor's Toll adjacent scenery. It's in their pre-coloured range, so I'm going to have a look and see if I can get it in the raw MDF, largely because I like doing my own tarting up on MDF, but I like the buildings, and they're interesting shapes and they're interesting structures, and they will add to my growing medieval town collection, and some of the medieval and fantasy town buildings can be thatched with milliput. Again, now there appears to be milliput in the country. I'll probably be buying loads more, but I'll be getting it from reliable sources that don't use my Hermes to deliver it. And again, I intend having Traitors Toll out. I intend having skirmish games in towns. I intend finally to get something sorted out for Ruckus. And again, scenery is all you need for that sort of thing. Ruckus is a version of a skirmish set of rules created by the people who do Never Mind the Bill hooks and Never Mind the Boat hooks, and is very strongly backed by my mate John Martin. He's a delightful lad who makes me paint Swiss, and which I don't like and have about. And he also makes me paint Landshacks, which I've got quite addicted to. I have my own Landschack division of Landshacks in Imperial service floating about. They've been built, but they've not been painted because I've got other projects on. which have got in front of them, and I really need to go and buy a starter army from Warlord, and I haven't had any reason to order anything from Warlord for a while. I was hoping that my 1940 Italian for their Piedmont campaign would have been assembled by Orchipanda. Unfortunately, Orchipanda is with child, as they used to put it in the old days, and has been having a bit of a torrid time, so I'm not bugging her about it. It's not done yet. I've got another couple of boxes of Italians to do, and one of which is on order from the young chap at the sprue shop, and I need to slightly bug him for, because my last order from them disappeared or wasn't sent, and I haven't ordered them since, mostly because I went directly to Victrix, because I discovered there was a problem with Victrix. It's helpful to have the instructions before you start buying individual sprues to bulk stuff out. And the only way to get the instructions was actually to buy packs, so I ended up buying quite a lot of packs directly from Victrix to get the instructions. Also, they gave me a discount, which enabled quite a lot more of an order. And I'm plugging away with them. This is a Ranger, which I'm building for the Black Order. They're light troops. They're a mix of Victrix Dark Age archers and medieval archers. And this guy's got a melee weapon and will have a little round red and black shield. But they're like most Rangery troops, sort of. I might switch that central light off, actually, that arc off. Just hang on a second, and not improve the light. Right, that means I can't see, but it might not wash out the camera quite so much. That's what I was trying to show you. I've also got more stuff done for the Utrima project, which these over here, mostly crossbowmen for my Scots warband, and a breaching team which includes this lovely guy with a glaive and a couple of guys with dirty great big axes, for battering down doors and that sort of thing. I'm still doing Frostgrave stuff, and these will be adding to the large number of wizards that I've got to bulk out warbands, because I'm selling them as warbands rather than as individual wizards anymore. So you'd be talking about 80 quid for 15 figures. There'll be a mix of these. These are Cultist 1, there'll be Cultist 2 mixed in, and a lot of Cultist 3, because I actually like Cultist 3. I think they're one of their better ranges, and I want to have a look at Cultist Knights, because again, they look cool, and I wasn't so taken with the original Knights, but the Cultist Knights look cool. So that's all in the future, and I'll be showing those off. I've also finished some projects which photographs will be going up this evening on the Facebook page, which I need to remember to put in the description here, and I will be putting them up as posts on the community tab, basically because I think they look cool. There's an owl there, little cart with a pony, and a well, which is from IGS, and I will be getting 2 more of in the near future, one of which I'll be doing for Frostgrave, and one of which I will be doing for my desert scenery, because it's a lever well, and they were heavily used in the Levant and in Palestine, as well as North Africa more widely. But basically I'm going to get one of those because I want a little village Arab style sort of adobe buildings that I can use as a base for my Ultima people. And it will probably grow like Topsy, like everything else I do. So that's in the future, and you'll be seeing stuff. There's a load of houses that I've got to do. The ones I did the roofs on earlier, they're sitting downstairs in the workshop, and then as I get workshop space, and clearing the workshop is going to be coming soon, and I'm probably going to get some labour in to help with that. Won't be this week, but it will be probably in the next couple of weeks, because I'll just get in somebody to give me a hand organising it, and I'll get some more shelving like this in there as well, because it's so more efficient at storing space, storing stuff, than the plastic shelving I've got at the moment. I might keep the plastic shelving, I might pass it on to someone else, I might just use it for shows and stuff, because I intend doing shows. I might also use it for concessions that I'm planning. Because I'm seriously planning doing Army Painter as a distributor. Army Painter, and I've got two possible places to sell Army Painter, because I don't have a shop here, but I do have potential people that will run a concession for a fee. And I will also be sort of doing the same with Reaper paints when I get that into the mix. Still need to sort out the matte varnish issue, because the Humbrol matte varnish is being temperamental, and I sprayed some stuff the other day, and I had to fix that afterwards, because I managed to get it dusted even though I mixed it thoroughly. So I got a little bit of white dusting, which I can get rid of, but it is irritating. And not having a reliable matte varnish is a pain in the neck. I mean, the Army Painter stuff was great, but it's now too thick to use because you can't mix it. And if you don't mix it, it causes all sorts of trouble. But again, I might have to resort to using airbrush stuff, which will probably be the Army Painter airbrush stuff. But I didn't like their airbrush paints when I tried them, because every other airbrush paint that I used works fine with a brush, but it was horrible gritty stuff. I think it was white primer. Yeah, it was white primer, and it was very gritty. Now I don't know whether it was a problem with the one pot or with the range, but I can see that not working very well from an airbrush, and it certainly didn't work very well from a brush. On the good side, the Army Painter brushes appear to have got better, because whilst I've taken the end off this one because I caught it in some super glue that wasn't quite set, and it managed to wreck the end, this one, which came with a paint set, I can't remember which one, because I don't actually buy these generally, I didn't think they were any good, or I killed them too quick, but this one has survived quite a lot of abuse, so I might have a backup for when Warbases run out of brushes, as they have recently. That's a bit better and got a bit more selection than the people I normally use, which are I can't remember the name of the people. I bought some of their brushes, Expo Tools, which I normally just buy the big ones because this is a size 4, and they're really useful for brush priming and brush varnishing and that sort of thing. And Warbases only do a 3. This is a Warbase 3, which I managed to kill with dry brushing. It's still a reasonable dry brush, even though I've taken worn half the brush away. But again, they're out of those as well at Warbases. Sorry if it's being a bit incoherent, but it's been one of those weeks. I've been really, really busy doing stuff, and this is not the day I plan to do this. I plan to do this in the quiet of an afternoon, but I got more stuff to do, so I got stuck into it, which is the Halo stuff you might have seen. This is batch 2. Now I've taken a breather from this, basically because I went at it like a maniac and I really did need to sit and think a bit. And doing something else gives you the chance to sit and think. Don't know who this guy is, but he's a big hefty so-and-so, with even compared with the Halo figures, which are sort of 40 millish. But Halo's still coming along, and I'm really pleased with this one, which is a little scorecard thing, which is their little AI. That's almost done. The figure itself is done. I just need to do some work on the base bit, mostly shading and colouring. But that's going to start again when I've got the minefield done, which hopefully will be done for Wednesday and potentially be in the post. Would have been in the post Wednesday, but I finally got the electrician in to go and sort a couple of things out for me, and he's in the morning, and I don't like going to the post office in the afternoon, because if I go to the big post office in the centre of town, there's a huge queue every time I go in there, and I'm not very good at crowds these days. So basically this is Cortina, and my post run will be Thursday, more than likely. I also need to get a box because the minefield's got to go in it, and it's heavy, and I had conniptions last time. I had to use a lot of lightweight box on a large lightweight box, and it used more packing than I liked, so I had to get some more packing. But minefield will be done, and then I can get on with the other minefield, and I can get on with my building projects, which are many, and I am aware there are even more behind me that are in the part done stage, and I need to drag those out, paint them, and finish them, and just work through them. But it's always a way of things that I swap between projects. I also need to get, where's it gone? Oh, some more of this. This is thinner for the speed paint, but it's generally useful thinner if you need a water-based thinner, and it's better than water. And it's got a little bit of medium in it. It's not cheap, but get one of those on my next order from Army Painter. Probably with some more spray, but I've got 2 bottles of it. But they're both getting a little on the empty side. Also need more glue and paint and other stuff, because I've always got too much painting to do. So that's about 25 minutes of me. And let's mention, I'm playing about with OBS, with adding extra scenes and trying to add bits in and clip in bits that I filmed somewhere else. I've also got the connector for the camera, finally, but I really don't know what it does, because if you turn the camera on, it doesn't appear to show up anywhere. So I'm not sure what the data cable's for, what it does, but I've only just assembled it and plugged it in, and I'll have to have a good look and see through the settings and see what that does. Still haven't got this off Korean either, so that's going to the Nightmare Gamers group, so they can reward me by fixing whatever I did to that and setting it on HD, so I can actually use it to film figures and whatever have you in good detail. But I will go on to the outro now. So thank you very much if you've watched this far. Please like and subscribe, because I'm on a push to try and get this thing monetized, so I can actually hand over money to my editor guy and pay for the file transfer thing that I've set up. as a free setup service at the moment. So please like and subscribe. And if you don't like anything, comment. If you do like stuff, comment. And because feedback helps. And I think for now, that's enough for me. You've had 25 minutes of me. So thank you very much for listening, and goodbye for now. Take care.